It is warming up and we are ready for it. And just because we live in the mountains, that doesn't mean we can't have the beach too. So infuse your home with a bit of that breezy coastal feel. From light colors and natural textures, you can create a touch of that seaside charm without changing your whole decor. Designer Andrea Swenson is here to share 5 simple ideas for adding a touch of coastal style to our mountain homes. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Hi, Amy.
So good to have you here. You brought this beautiful display. I think a lot of times, since we do live in the mountains, we have a lot of cold, we're afraid to bring in that coastal feel.
Right. I love bringing in the coastal vibes because it feels sunny and warm all the time. We lived in the Caribbean, so I just love that feel, bringing it here. It's just a different vibe than you would feel that rustic, woody Utah mountain.
Oh my goodness, you might be one of the first people I've met who lived in the Caribbean.
It was really fun.
Dreamy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what you're talking about.
Yes.
And you've brought kind of 5 ways we can bring that vibe in, and we're starting with glass. Over here?
Yes.
Okay.
So glass, think vintage. I found these at like vintage and thrift stores. And the reason you want to bring this in is because most of the time it has that blue feel, and then like the glass just reminds you of that beach glass. This one I've hidden a plant underneath it, but you could put some fun stems. And then these vintage glass pieces I picked up also at like a Goodwill. They're just sherbet dishes, and I've just filled them with our collection of seashells.
That is really fun because you could just set that out in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
I do love a glass feel. I have a couple of these really big ones that I love because you can just put anything in them and they're fun.
They're just bring that fun color in.
Bringing the sea glass. Now, the other thing you say are dishes, and we're looking at some examples here, and you've added some sea glass along with the seashells into this one.
Yes, I love finding white dishes. So this one, of course, is not from a vintage market, but these other ones I just pick up when I find them at a thrift store or a vintage antique sale. This one was actually my grandmother's, and I love filling them with those natural elements.
Yeah, talk about where you sourcing. Oh, these are fake. They look real.
Aren't they fun?
Yes, they're really fun.
So I love to buy the fake when I can. I also love real baby's breath. That is very fragile, so I did not travel with real baby's breath, but they look beautiful in elements like this too.
They really do. Talk to me about what it is about the white that appeals to you and brings that coastal feel.
White is that crisp color that you just think of when you're thinking coastal. Those blues, those whites, those natural elements are really what you're looking for. White furniture and just white dishes really just ground the space.
Yeah, we can see kind of how you've put them on shelves, and you've just lined up those cute cups you told us about. And so you're saying these things can just, along with the dishes, the glass, you're just putting them everywhere, kind of spreading them throughout the house?
Yes, in hutches, on shelves, on coffee tables, and just make little vignettes of all of them. My favorite place for big jars like this are up in glass cabinets. They look so beautiful.
Oh, when we have a lot of room to fill, and then you can see them through the cabinets.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another idea when we're talking about that coastal feel. You say natural elements, and is that wood mostly, or what are we talking?
Woods, your like florals. So when I think coastal florals, I think hydrangeas. You just see them all over on the East Coast, so that's kind of your like Hampton vibe. So, and then also think like your pampas grass and your baby's breath. We talked about this. This is real pampas grass. It's easy to find.
That's really pretty.
And then your seashells and your driftwood.
Okay, now where are we? Are we heading to the beach only to find driftwood? Where can we find driftwood?
I've actually found them at places like Hobby Lobby. These actually I've carried home in suitcases.
You have?
Yeah, so scour your beaches and pick up some driftwood. They look really great just on shelves in your home. And seashells I've also brought home from places, but I've also found these at thrift stores.
Thrift stores.
Yes, people are getting rid of them.
Because people probably collect shells and then they never know what to do with them.
Exactly.
I would never think to look for seashells at a thrift store.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to start because of you, Andrea.
And this is my other favorite thing. This is sand from like beaches that we've been to. I've just used a little funnel, put them down in bottles, and then labeled the island that it came from, or the beach.
Oh, I love this idea.
So
I bring home sand, and I was thinking of doing like a shadow box or something, but I like this idea too. Okay, let's talk about baskets.
Okay, baskets you can collect anywhere. This one I scooped up at a vintage market days. I've found them at like the DI, the Goodwill. You can also find them at stores like TJ Maxx. And my favorite thing to put in baskets are pillows and blankets. So
just easy for people to grab.
Yep, just lay them around your house, and anything that you need, You know, we use them for shoes. I use them for books, magazines, all the things that you're trying to hide. But those baskets, think that rattan, that natural kind of color.
And it looks great on a shelf.
Isn't that fun?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it just adds that texture.
Right.
Texture.
Yes.
Okay, we're also talking textiles.
Okay, so the textiles I mentioned are perfect in baskets. Think stripes, florals, and a good gingham always goes a long way. And I try to stick to those blue and white and natural colors. You really cannot go wrong.
Yeah, I've noticed you have a lot of blue here. Other colors that we could, if we don't want just blue and white, what would you say would be a good accent?
I would say like a seafoam green, which is still in the blue family, but pinks are really, really fun to mix in with blues and that coastal vibe. It just brings, you know, you could add some pink hydrangeas in there and it can still feel very coastal.
I have to ask, when do we know we've gone too far? Because I think sometimes you can go too far with the coastal vibe.
Right.
So how much of this would you say we're putting in each room?
I would say just a few of the coastal pieces. Really focus more on the wood and the white elements. Then you're not going too far. You're bringing in those softer hues and then hit with just a few of the little coastal touches.
And I like that you're giving us permission, even though we're nowhere near a beach, we can still do this.
Go for it.
Then maybe
You'll love
we'll
it.
feel like we're on vacation.
Exactly, girl. My house is like green blue. The whole front exterior is a green blue color. Feel free to paint everything blue and bring that coastal vibe into your home.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for more ideas from you, where are we finding you?
Valley View Abode, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing this, giving us permission. We're all going to bring it in. It's time.
Yes.
Okay.
It's time to pull up those spaces.
Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.